so many salespeople are afraid to create tension. They're afraid to maybe not be so likable. They're afraid to make the wrong impression, and they forget what the wrong impression really is. Look, tension is the group of emotions that is necessary in order to make anybody, or in order to help anybody, make a decision. A lot of times this tension is painful, right? It's I've got a problem, Ollie, and I need to solve it. And then there's some tension in that feeling. Other times, I just know I could be doing better. Nobody buys a Rolex because they need to know what time it is, right? So there is this idea that I'm not necessarily bad. I just could be better off than I am right now in one way, shape, or form. And so when you take the pleasure and you take the pain, you add it all together, I call that group of emotions tension. And the reason that most salespeople aren't interested in getting emotions involved is because they're afraid to be considered too salesy. They don't like the way that makes them look to their prospects. They don't like the way that makes them look in the mirror. And there are so many reps out there who are so afraid to toe the line of salesy that they forget that they're in sales. Because unless you create that tension, you're never going to move the process along. And as a matter of fact, unless you create tension early, you're not going to get the meetings that you need in order to create the tension later. And so trying to be friendly, trying to be likable, that's great if your prospects are looking for new friends. But what have we learned over the last couple of years? We've learned that COVID has brought us all into our homes. They've brought new distractions. Okay, not all of us, but a lot of us into our homes, brought new distractions. It's changed the eye level of your prospect to the point where they're valuing their time, their attention, and their resources differently. And now with some of the economic uncertainties out there, some people want to call it a recession. Some people are afraid to call it a recession. Some people they don't know what to call it and they don't care. Your messaging needs to be sharp. It needs to be on point. You need to have a business case. You need to get people talking about the problems they know they need to solve. And sometimes the problems they don't even know they have yet. Do you do that by offering to send a virtual coffee? Do you do that by dropping donuts off at the office? No. You do that by asking powerful questions that get your prospect thinking, that change their eye level in a way that's going to help them solve a problem. And that involves getting emotions involved. And too many salespeople are trying to logic their way into meetings, and it's really impacting their efforts. How's that, Ollie? Is that a good start?
I can tell by your pitch and by your pace, this is something you're a little bit passionate about, speaking of emotions, which is funny. But yeah, in the sense